Economics for your first question, fourth chapter, that is what do you understand by globalization? Explain in your own words. So globalization basically is a process of integration of all the countries, and globalization facilitate movement of all goods, resources, human resources, and all type of capital from one country to another country. So then you can write about the globalization. How can you be the part of globalization? That is by setting up your production center in any countries, by supplying the produced goods to other countries in technology, and so such type of movement contributes to globalization. Now, what was the reason by putting barrier to foreign trade and foreign investment by the Indian government, and why did it wish to remove these barriers? So reason for putting barrier basically, that is to foreign trade and foreign investment by the Indian government, was to protect the domestic producer from the foreign competition. Basically this was the main reason. And then the question is that why did it wish to remove this barrier then later on? So after around 1991 government wished to remove the barrier to foreign trade and foreign investment, because the government think that they had attained all the technological capabilities, and now their domestic producer are well capable enough to compete with this foreign competition. So that is why they removed all these barriers, not altogether, but slowly they removed all these barriers, started to remove these barriers. So that the export import could be easily done in the country, and foreign investment can be welcome in the country. So these were the reasons. Now third question is, how would flexibility in labor laws help companies? Definitely the flexibility in labor laws means now the companies can have they are not having the strict rules for the labor they are having regarding their remuneration, the increment in their remuneration means salary, basically you can say. The all the facilities, all the money, all the perk that has been given by the employer to employee in return of their services, that is known as remuneration in economics. So all the remunerations, they are having the liberal laws regarding remuneration, the increments and the bonus and the another employment benefit scheme. So they are having the liberal laws, company are having the liberal laws regarding. And now the flexibility means every company, all type of company, and need to follow the same and the static rule for the employment of employees. And they can keep workers for the long hours and for the low wages and without any provident fund, paid holidays and health insurance like. So these are the flexibility laws which attract the companies, and in this case company has no need to take care of the employees, they have no worry about the employees. They can concentrate, I can say, only on their core activity, and they can have the employee in the temporary basis, and they can exploit them. And because salary to employees is a cost for the employer basically. So whenever the employer giving salary to the employee, so it increases the cost of the production. So definitely they consider it as a cost. They are not considering that they are giving this employment to the society, and then they are giving they are raising the standard of society. These are not concerned for the companies, because private companies, they are basically concerned with their profit only. What are the various ways in which multinational, the fourth question is, what are the various ways in which multinational setups or control production in other countries? So how the multinational corporation control the production in other countries, like multinational setup production where basically they are close to the market, they are having skilled worker, they are having the availability of technology, and I think I will say that liberal laws also regarding all, especially labor laws and all. So they can set up production in the partnership with the local companies, they can buy local companies, they can merge with the local companies, and then they use the local companies for supply of their basic item, or you can say for assembling the product, and then they give their own brand name to the product, and they can closely compete with the local companies. In all these ways multinational corporations can be set up in the other countries. Now the fifth question is, why do developed countries want developing countries to liberalize their trade and investment policy, and what do you think should the developed countries demand in return? So this is a question. Definitely all the developed nation, they made WTO, World Trade Organization, and they want all the underdeveloped countries or developing countries to become the part of this, and they are showing that if you become they are showing to the countries like India, like which are developing, that definitely you will get the benefit if you will become the part of this, this part of the globalization. But there is a different type of story also. You can say other part of coin also. So developing countries want to invest in the developed countries want to invest in the developing countries to earn basically high rate of return, not for the development of these countries. As we are seeing that all the multinational corporation, they are investing in like luxury item. They are not investing in infra and all. So basically now, according to the developed countries, trade barriers are harmful for them because they cannot grow in these developing nations. And developed countries want that all the developing countries should liberalize their trade investment policy so that they can expand, they can invest in all type of business which is which is with a high profit. And now the next thing is the developing country should definitely cooperate with these developing countries, because they should take care of their own interest, because developed countries corporations are coming to their country and they should take care of it, that basically something unfair should not be there. Like they want unfair trade policy, unfair investment policy, or unfair labor laws. That should not be there. And in the developing countries, whatever rules and regulation made for the trade and investment policy, that should be properly taken care by the government also. Now the impact of globalization has a sixth question is there. The impact of globalization has not been uniform. As you have studied a lots of pages and you just come to know that globalization impact is not uniform. It is different from consumer, producer, or competitors and all. So the question can also arise for this, that globalization and competition among producer has been of advantage to the consumer. Give argument in support of this statement. This question can be the substitute for sixth question, or positive negative effect can be asked for globalization. So you have to discuss this question in the way of positive and negative effect also. Like positive effect, you can have that is a beneficial for consumer. They can have more variety of product at reasonable price, and employment opportunities are more in all the stream, and many product which earlier were not produced in the country, now they are producing because they are having upgraded technology with the help of multinational corporation. Local companies also grow with the growth of this competition of foreign companies. And now top Indian company, basically they are getting the benefit of technology and all, and new opportunities are there for the companies to to grow. And in respect of all technology aspect, they are having the scope of growth with the coming of this multinational corporation. Now negative effect, the negative effect, the liberal laws they want, so they are there to exploit many uneducated, unskilled labor, and they are having, due to having the liberal laws, they can have advantage of these employees which they hire. Now negative part is that small industry, they can vanish, they can finish with, because they are not able to compete with this new multinational corporation which are having upgraded technology and less cost of production. And next negative impact, that small producer, basically they are very much you can say that they are not able to compete with this again foreign competition, because for many product, technology is not even available in your country. So definitely you have to purchase that technology from these countries whose multinational corporation are coming to your country. So basically they are having the least cost. Like many technology we are purchasing from the China. So if you are purchasing the technology from China and the Chinese are making the product in their own country and they are exporting to your country, definitely the exporter will try to sell the product at least price, so that the production should not be undertaken by the domestic companies, and they prefer to import those products from the China. So likewise, there is negative impact also. Now the seventh question, how was liberalization of trade and investment policy help the globalization process? So liberalization basically means liberal all the policy in terms of industry, trade, and liberalize the policy so that all the traders can grow. They can take the decision on their own for their own benefit. They should not ask the government for that again and again, as it was before 1991. So basically it explains the relation between the liberalization of foreign trade and the trade barriers. So this question can be asked as a substitute for the seventh question. Now the movement of goods and services between the countries have become possible due to this liberal rules. And liberalization for if you are having the liberalization in your country, then all the traders take freely decision regarding the production, expansion of product and all. And with the removal of all these barriers, what happens to the foreign trade and foreign investment? They were also able to invest more, and foreign reserve will increase of the country. And then so all these benefit they are getting from this liberalization and having this. Now eighth question is there, that how does foreign trade had lead to integration of market across countries? Explain with an example other than those given here. So foreign trade leads to integration of market, definitely, because foreign trade means they gives the opportunity producer to sell their product beyond the domestic market, and there is a trade between the countries. Another producer can sell their product not only in their own local market but to the international market, to the market of market belong to other countries also. And here the buyer basically that import the goods produced in the other country, and they also the choices has their choice also has been increased. Now they are having more choices, like they have to choose that they have to import from which country, or either to from your own domestic producer. And opening of trade and goods travel from one country, one market to another country, choices also increase for the consumer. And through foreign trade, producer in two countries now they are competing with each other. So definitely while competition, their growth is also, if they are competition, if there is a competition, then definitely growth of both the producer will be there. Now the ninth question is, globalization will continue in the future. Can you imagine that what the world would be like 20 years from now? Give reason for your answer. So this is the ninth question. Basically here you will discuss that the entire world definitely change. The entire world become a single market after the globalization. Definitely there is a global world, and I'm not saying that the developed nation, they are taking definitely benefit from the developing nation with their resources. And basically multinational corporation produce goods and services in this location around the world, and which is making the cheap cost of production. As you are just noticing the example, that magazine of London has been produced in the part of the production has been done in the different countries for getting the benefit of because the cheaper cost is there. And foreign investment will increase definitely, and foreign trade between the countries will increase here. And basically foreign trade is controlled by the multinational corporation for their head office, and there will be great integration for all the markets and investment, technology, all the all the improvement that has been shared by all the that has been shared basically by all the countries, and all the companies which is belong to different countries. And that definitely gives the scope for movement of all type of goods, services, people and technology. Now question number 10th is there. Supposing you find two people arguing, one is saying globalization has hurt one country's development, other is saying globalization is helping India develop. How would you respond to these arguments? So these both the arguments are they're right on their own part. So globalization has not hurt basically any other country's development if government is enough taken care of all the policies regarding trade and investment and foreign trade. But it is helping the country like India by providing employment opportunities, because in 1991 new industrial policy has been adopted, which globalization was a main part of that. And after that was criticized to a large extent by that time, but now we are seeing the positive effect over there. We are getting the employment, we are getting technology, we are having raised standard of living. So all the benefit we are getting in terms of skill, education, wealth or trade. And but many small producers, they have been vanished. Definitely they suffered the loss due to this high competition. They were not able to cope up with the competition given by this foreign companies or multinational corporation in the country. So definitely government should be there to support all that, so that the negative effect can be decreased. Now the 11th question, basically these are the fill in the blanks. Here I'm studying this line. This is closely associated with the process of their greater choice to they did 2 decades back. There is definitely the globalization, and markets in India are selling goods and produced in many other countries, and this means there is a increasing dash of foreign trade with other countries. Moreover, the rising number of brands that we see in the market might be produced by multinational corporations are investing in India because of the trade they are having. While consumers have more choices in the market, the effect of rising there is a third point again. I'm just reading. Moreover, the rising number of brands that we see in the markets might be produced by multinational corporations are investing in India because they find the vast market regarding raw material and labor, cheap labor definitely. And while consumers have more choices in the market, the effect of rising dash, the effect of rising all type of trade and commerce has meant greater dash among the producer, definitely competition among the producer. This is the, fill in the blank you can have. They are just following the lines which has been already given in your chapter, and they are just putting the words from there. Now 12th question is for regarding match the following. So multinational corporation buy a cheaper rate from the small producer, and I think there's a garments, footwear, sports item B part, and then quota and taxes on import are used to regular trade. That is trade barriers, definitely. Third, D, Indian companies who have invested abroad. That is definitely Tata, Infosys, Ranbaxy, or Reliance like company. They are investing abroad. IT has helped in spreading of production of services. That is call center. Definitely, we are having all type of calls and customer care services in this particular area. Several multinational corporations have invested in setting up factories in India for production. Fifth point is there automobiles. Now question 13, choose the most appropriate option. So the options are given. The past 2 decades of globalization has been a rapid movement in goods and services, people between the countries, goods and services, and investment between the countries, good and investment, and people between the countries. So for best one is the goods, services, and investment between the countries. Now the most common, second point, most common route for investment from multinational corporation in countries around the world is to set up new factory, buy existing local companies, from partnership with local companies. So the options are there, and the B is the better one. I think buy existing local companies, the most common route they are following, because they know that local companies are having all the resources, everything running on their, all the running things are going on over there. So like raw material, availability of labor, availability of technology, availability of consumers, so they better to buy the local companies. The globalization has led to the improvement in the living condition of all the people in the developing countries, developed countries, or none of the above. They has globalization led to the improvement in living condition of I think and for the last question, that is none of the above, and that is all with your questions and all the chapters. And